I already drank that whole shake? This is cubic zirconia, or CZ for short. CZ is a lab-created gemstone, and it comes in a variety of colors. I don't cut a lot of CZ, but it is often the gem material selected for gem cutting competitions. That is because a competition requiring all cutters to use CZ allows more cutters to enter the competition. And that's because CZ is widely available and not expensive. Also, CZ rough is generally free of inclusion, so for a competition it means that the stones submitted won't have any inclusions or fractures or anything else that would impact the grading of the gemstone. So basically the thinking is that if you require CZ for a competition, practically any cutter can enter because of the low cost of CZ. The competition can require cutters to cut fairly large gemstones, and that's because CZ rough is available in very large sizes, and any flaws in the final gemstone would be due to the cutter and not the material because CZ is generally clean. This design, Improved Utopia, is the United States Fasteners Guild competition design piece for their master's level single stone competition this year. And you can find this design on their website if you want to cut it. Now, when I came across this design, I wanted to cut it because this design was originally created by the late Jeff Graham, and it was modified for this competition by Arya Akvan. And Jeff and Arya are on my very short list of my favorite designers of gem cutting diagrams, so I wanted to cut this stone. So I recently cut this stone design using lab-created alexandrite. And now that I've test cut the stone, I want to give it a try in CZ. And I selected a color change lemon yellow to lime green CZ to cut this design in. Okay, for my CZ for this design, I want it 12 millimeters wide. And given the instructions, the length to width ratio with a 12 millimeter width, the length's going to be about 16.5 millimeters. So I'm going to trim it up so I don't have to spend so much time using my lap to preform it. So I've drawn with my permanent marker where I want the first two cuts, and then I'm going to trim it so it's not so thick. So let me take it to the trim saw and make these first cuts. Okay, I finished trimming up my piece of CZ, and it gave me three good sized leftover trim pieces that I'll use if I ever need any more CZ. I don't cut a lot of CZ, but this way I won't have to buy it. So I've got those for spare, and I marked with my Sharpie the top just so I don't get confused. So this will be my piece of rough that I use. So there's a lot less grinding. I would have had to grind all that off with my probably my 100 grit, 150 grit lap, and save wear and tear on the lap. That's what the trim saw is for, and you get extra pieces. So trim saw is a good thing to have. So for a pear-shaped design, I've been cutting a lot of a design called Allen's Challenge, in which case the stone is not, the culet is not at the center of the stone, it's in the back third. Whereas with this Improved Utopia design, the kind of culet is centered. So the stone's kind of a centered stone. So to put the stone in the dop, I'd use an oversized dop, just about as wide as close to as I can get to the size of the rough, to help me center the stone. So you can see that from the width side, it's just touching both sides. So that's centered. And then lengthwise, I guesstimate, try to get it as centered as I can. So in the bottom part, I put the the putty to kind of hold the stone just enough that when I remove this dop, I'll put in probably an 8 millimeter dop, and it's already centered. So I don't have to worry about recentering the stone. It's harder to center with a smaller dop. Using this big dop, it helps me center it just right on the length size. So now I just removed the larger dop that just helped me center the dop on the stone, and I put in the dop I'm going to use, and I know that it's centered, but it would be harder to center it with just using this dop. That's why I start with the larger dop. Now I'm going to put 2-part epoxy for the stone, and I'll be ready to start cutting the improved Utopia piece of CZ. For our cubic zirconia, this design calls for the stone that is longer than it is wide. So to set the stone in our machine, no big issue. We just want the sides to be at the 24 and the 72 teeth. So we would put the stone into our machine so that they correspond to, the width matches the 24 and 72. And then we just tighten the set screw, and we're ready to start cutting our cubic zirconia. I finished preforming the CZ, and I used a 120 grit topper, which is very rough, but I had a lot of material to move, and it's CZ, so I'm not too worried about the cost. So, and this is just the first lap that I went over the stone with. And with this design, it helps me keep track of where I'm at with which facets as I'm going around the girdle or up here on the pavilion. So I use my Sharpie quite a bit. Don't be afraid to use your Sharpie to mark your facets so you know where you're at, so you don't think you're on one facet but actually cutting a different facet on the instructions. So I'll continue to preform our CZ. I went ahead and polished the first row of facets, even though I haven't even got the girdle set yet. And that way it's just done, because some of these girdles, some of these facets that come up on the side, if I start cutting those, I may not be able to line up that first row right. So I wanted to get it all done. And now I'm going to set the width of our stone at 12 millimeters. I'll use a 210 grit topper to start with. So I pre-polished the girdle, and then I went to level the girdle with the lines of instruction, the P2 through the P7 lines of instruction, which to level the girdle. I wanted to level it before I polish it. And this is the line of instructions. There's the P4 line of instruction. Looks like it's out of order. I would cut the 32 tooth before the 28, because you want each tooth, each facet to line up with the one before, and that one, the P4 kind of goes from one and then skips one and then comes back if you do the 28 and 32. So I do the 32 and then the 28, just so I can make sure they're all lined up. And let me show you what I mean using the GemCut Studio software, where I can use the cutting assistant of GCS to show you a computer simulation of cutting each facet. You can see how cutting the index tooth 28 before index tooth 32 doesn't allow you to line up with the previous facets. Now I've prepared a number of tutorials showing you how to use the GemCut Studio software, so I'll refer you to that playlist rather than re-explain how to use GCS here. I don't think it's an error in the writing of the instructions. I think it's just a glitch with the GemCut Studio. I think it just puts the facets in order on each row, and 32 comes after 28, so it just puts it that way. But I would cut the 32 first. Okay, I'm polishing the pavilion, or the bottom part of the gemstone here, so I wanted to show you that in the case of this gemstone, there's just a huge amount of rough left that's for the upper half of the stone, and that's because, in part, because this design has a tall crown, but also just because of the way the rough was. So there's no need to polish all of this when you polish the girdle, because you're going to cut all this away, and you're going to want a girdle of about, it's arguable, but between 0.2 and 0.5 millimeters, which kind of the tip of this pointer. So what I do, instead of polishing at 90 degrees, I bring my faceting machine down to like 89.95 or 89.9, something like that, so that I'm only polishing the top part right here. That's the actual girdle. You can see where this is polished and all of this is not polished. Again, it just would just be wasting time to polish all of this. So the way you do it is, again, you just change the index, the degree on your index, instead of 90 degrees to slightly less, 89.5, 89.9, 89.85, 89.95, something like that, whatever works. It's not noticeable, so it won't hurt a thing, and that's what I do. So back to polishing. Okay, I finished polishing the bottom half or the pavilion of our gemstone, so now I'll transfer the stone to cut the upper half. I used 60,000 grit diamond on a zinc lap and had no problems polishing it up. So I finished going over my CZ with my 12M lap. So next I will use, I'm going to go straight to my 13,000 grit diamond on a bat lap to preform everything and get all the facets nice the way I want them, and then I'll go to polish. When I use my 60,000 grit diamond on a zinc lap, which is what I'm using here, or a bat lap to polish, I generally want very little oil and very little diamond on the lap. So more than enough. And my snake oil, I use 1 drop, and actually less than a drop, so I take off a little bit. So the lap has a little bit of oil and a little bit of diamond powder, diamond paste. And that's how I polish, and I go very slow, maybe 300 RPMs to polish the stone. Okay, I finished polishing the upper half of our cubic zirconium with 60,000 grit diamond on a zinc lap. So now I'm going to set up my stone and cut the table. Okay, the table polished right up, no issues. So now I will soak our stone in acetone to remove the adhesive, and then we'll weigh it, measure it, and send it off to BOPIE. Today I cut the United States Fasteners Guild Masters Level design for this year's single stone competition. The rules of USFG require that this stone be cut in CZ. And I wanted to challenge myself and see if I was up to cutting this stone to the USFG specifications. The design is not easy to cut, but it's not too difficult either. I think any cutter who has a handful of gemstones cut under their belt could easily cut this design without any problem. It is a fun design to cut, and the finished gemstone with this design looks awesome. However, the design requires a thick piece of rough due to the tall crown in the design. I think you ought to give this design a try. Please let me know in the comments what you think of the gemstone and this awesome design. And as always, happy fasting, everyone.